This is what you see, and this is the reality. Hi guys! Good morning, good afternoon, good day. This is your Amiga Rai and welcome to my channel! So today, I'm gonna speak with you about something that you can see in our house, and it's about plants. My indoor plants, my favorite plants, and my house plants. And I have a confession. I am a serial killer. Yes, you heard it right. I am a plant serial killer. Although you can see that there are a lot of plants in our house, I have killed some of them. And today, I wanted to show you some of the plants that I really have a hard time growing them and just keep on killing them one plant from another. Do I feel guilty about it? Yes. What can I do about it? So those are the things and the topics that I'm gonna share with you, and I hope that you find this video or this vlog informative. So more on it in a while. So let's talk about why I have killed my plant or why are they dying. I believe that there are some reasons or factors that we can consider why plants die in our hands. Is it too much love? Is it too much care? Is it less sunlight? Is it overwatering or underwatering? Is the correct place the right place, or is the best place? What I have been missing? So I'm gonna show you around some of my plants here, and I'm just gonna let you see the reality of our place. And you can see from my previous videos that I do have a lot of plants, but you only see the other side of it. Now I'm gonna show you the remaining side of it, the one that does not go to the Instagram or to my social media accounts, those that you don't see. And I hope that you will feel encouraged and motivated that this is their side of story. This is the story of the plant. So, right, coming up now. This is what you see. And this is the reality. They have yellowish leaves. One of the things that I love about water propagation is that you don't need soil. Do you think they're surviving? Well, some, but not all. You have seen this fella, strong and proud, tall as green. But the truth is, they're all attacked. Have you seen all this? Yes, this has been on quarantine, and I don't know how long this fella will last. New leaf unfurling. Some areas that you don't see are this area and that area. And that, my friends, are the reality. What you see right now is a quarantined area, but more than that, it's actually a neglected one. This fella has started to roots, but I have never found a time to transfer them. And the worst of it, they're all weakly. Last but not least, yep, I've killed this. I've killed, and I'm guilty as your plant serial killer. So you've seen different plants that I have here at our home, and I have to tell you that they are most probably between 1 year old to 1 month old here in our house. Basically, I started collecting plants on the earlier start of the pandemic or COVID-19 happened, and that was, I think, March, when I had my first indoor plant, which is the MONSTERA deliciosa, or also known as Swiss plant. So even before that, I would have tiny bits of plants with me. They are all stored in water, or they are kept well in water. For example, arrowheads or pothos, which I just keep on taking from my random walks or our random walks before on the park or on any places where me and my husband have been walking on a Saturday or on a weekend dates. So yeah, I have collected different kinds of indoor plants, and I have to tell you, some plants are easier to take care, and there are also plants that are hard to take care at home. There are also plants that dies with me, but then a couple of months, maybe like weeks, and then they will start to be resurrected with new leaf or new shoots, and they just like, you know, resurrected from the dead, I must say. But what made me appreciate about plants is that, number one, they are a good source of oxygen, and they are also a good source of air purification. So some of the plants that I have here are mainly having the purpose of purifying our air. So you can see that we are on a condo setup, and we don't have a balcony. So the aircon has been working in our living room and also in our workplaces or workrooms, and you know, we don't have that liberty or freedom to open our window. I do open our window when there are a good shower of rain, and when the weather is not that humid or warm. But apart from it, we are in a closed environment wherein aircon has all been working in. And what I appreciate from our place is that it has a good setup or position of bright lights. So we don't usually get direct lights, but we have a lot of indirect sunlight coming in from our house. So that's one thing. Elevation wise, our air is not fully elevated. We only have one area that comes in and comes out, and it doesn't have the counterpart area. So we really need to open our door if we want the air to come from one point to another location. So what are the challenges that I have faced during this pandemic, during this plant parenting season? I have to tell you one thing, and I think I myself is surprised. My husband is not into plants. When I say he's not into plants, he likes to see plants, but he never thought of like taking care of it. Like, he never thought of like buying a new pot or repotting them or like positioning them and all. But when we were in a relationship, I guess on the earlier stage, I kind of like introduced it to him that I am more into plants and natures, and I would ask him to, come on, let's have a walk on the park. And I would really take time grounding, meaning walking on soil or on the ground or the bare feet. And also like looking on some leaves, collecting some petals of flowers, and yeah, just collecting some natural resources and just sometimes bringing them at home. And yeah, that's how it started. And would you believe that our cups turned into pots our glasses and pitchers turns into pots, and we just have to buy new sets of glasswares, of drinking wares, because I have been using them for my water propagation. So when we got married, it has been my purpose to make our house cozy and make it as comfortable as it is. And one thing that I adore having in our house are plants. So I started with small plants and then putting them on water and then making them as a design. And yeah, so now you can see that most probably I would have 30 plants. But since I've mentioned to you that I am a serial killer, I think I've killed most plants between 10 to 20 kinds of plants. And please don't tell my husband about it because I think he's gonna freak out. Some of the plants that I've killed are petunias, succulents, calatheas, spider plants, fiddle leaf fig tree, aglaonema, and alocasias. Some of the people or some house parents would say that they are easy to grow and they are easy to propagate. Well, for my case, it's not. I'm trying my best to propagate them, but we don't have that love relationship. I think we have that love-hate relationship rather, that when I'm buying them, they're fine, but when I try to repot them because they are actually rooting out and bigger than their pots where they are grown, I just keep on failing and killing them series by series by series. So does that makes me feel frustrated? Of course, it does makes me frustrated. But I think plants more than anything else has been my coping mechanism in this period of time. Pandemic has caused us to stay at home, and it's such a difficult time for each and everyone, wherein everyone's mental health has been affected. We can deny it or we can accept it, but the long period of staying in house and not being able to see another human being, to touch or to engage another living organism can actually give you a little bit of anxiety and can make you have an increase of cortisol or stress hormone. And being surrounded with plants means that you are also surrounded of at least a living organism that has life, so made me realize that plants are also living organisms, and when you talk to them, they talk to you. And when they show some issues, there must be something wrong with them. I also consider plants like pimples. So when you have a pimple, when it shows up, there must be something wrong, right? Either you eat salty foods, oily foods, or you are on your menstruation or stuff like that, like you are you don't have enough sleep, you don't have enough water. So basically, plants are also like that. So when they are showing you yellowing leaves, wilting stems, or roots are dying, I think they also have some problem. You have to realize that you, as a human being, is actually a plant with complex emotions. So you need, as plants need water, air, sunlight, nutrients, you as a human being, you also need water, sun, happiness, fertilizers or food to keep you going and to keep you growing. And if we see ourselves as a plant, as a human being, and as a living organism, then we'd understand how to engage or how to treat or how to communicate and take care of plants. Number 2 that I have learned from plants is that you need to place them on areas or on a location based on their requirements and not based on your requirements. What I mean when I say you have to place them on their own requirements and not on your own requirements, it means that some of the plants survive on low light or on darker areas while others don't. Some of the plants tend to look out for the bright indirect lights, like MONSTERA, alocasia, or I can also say calathea. And when you put them on darker areas, of course, they tend to curl up their leaves, you know. But they don't like direct lights as well. They don't like afternoon lights, you know. So yeah, same goes with other plants that even if how many times you move them, wherever you put them, how many times you've repotted them, they don't die at all. And these are my friends. They showed me resiliency, and they showed me that they can just survive and they can live according to what they are. So those are Sansevierias, my Sanseas, and my ZZ plant. I really love them because they've shown resiliency. They look like they're so stiff, and they look like they are just you know, they are not like MONSTERA. When you compare a MONSTERA and a ZZ plant or a Sansevieria, you definitely notice MONSTERA, right? But Sansevierias are not easy to kill, and yet they survive. And you know what? They are great air purifier. You put them in your toilet, you put them on areas where there are a lot of bad odor, and they just thrive, even if it's dark, even if you don't water them or you forget them. And I think I can resonate on Sansevierias, and I can resonate on my ZZ plant. Most of the time, I believe I have that character, or I guess I have that experience in my life that I was taken for granted, that I was not remembered, and I have been forgotten, and yet here I am, still surviving, still growing, and still a great help or giving an impact to the people around me. I just love them, and I just care for them, just like how a Sansevieria and a ZZ plant will do. Even if you don't give them love, even if you've taken for granted them, or you're not giving them the attention that they need, they will just be a great air purifier. You know why? Because they were made to be like that. Third one that I wanted to share with you would be grow wherever you are planted. Yeah. So it's something that I have been telling myself, and it has been my life mantra. Wherever I am, whatever circumstances or situations I am with right now, I always tell myself, what is my purpose in this situation? What can I do to change things? You know, I always ask myself, or before rather, I told myself, I'm scared of change. I am a person who doesn't like change. I am a risk-averse person. I am not a risk taker. I have a lot of hesitations, and I always tiptoe on my decisions, and I need someone to affirm or to confirm on me. But nevertheless, over the period of time, being a housewife now, and you know, moving from corporate world to a full-time housewife, a full-time baker, I have realized that you just have to bloom, and you just have to be who you are, whatever the situation is, and that is fine. And you know, sometimes you tend to grow faster, you tend to adapt to your environment as quick as you are expected, and sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes, you know, you tend to take time growing, and it's just like that. People are like plants, more to say, because we grow in different sizes on our own different pace and season, and that is okay. as long as you're still alive and as long as you're still breathing, everyone is rooting for you. So I guess some of those realizations I would never ever share to you rather. I don't think I'm able to speak right now to you guys if I didn't become a plant parent. And I'm really grateful that these plants, even if they don't have mouth, even if they cannot speak back to me, their unfurling of their leaves made me realize that yes, I exist, I am here. And I always tell myself to be like them, you know, to reciprocate. I sometimes tell them I'm here and hey, you know, and treating them nicely is one thing that made me realize it's really good. So my other side note is that my palm tree was a gift to me on my birthday. And I'm really happy. It has been like my dream. In Ilongga, we call it handong kagdumot, to have a palm tree into our house. And I did. And so, after a couple of days, I moved it on this location. It turned to have yellow leaves. And I was figuring out why. And I was checking the soil is okay. I was checking the pot, everything's fine. And I was checking and I found out that perhaps maybe I had put or neglected this plant and, you know, didn't notice that it was actually getting a direct afternoon light, and they actually don't like it, so they turned yellow. And another thing that I'm considering is maybe because it has been repotted, so it is a bit stressed. So I've shared it to my husband that my palm tree has yellowing leaves, and I showed it to him, and he was sitting here in the sofa telling me, you know what, hon, maybe it's just stressed, or you know, you just repotted to a new pot and maybe he's just trying to figure out, you know, you'll never know, and then this and that. And I was like, you're telling your plant parent wife that they are stressed? You, my not plant parent husband, telling your plant parent wife that these are the possible causes that my leaves are turning yellow? Then it hit him. Oh my goodness, I am now a plant parent. And his expression in his face was, I wish I could have just taken it and like I took a video about it, but never mind. I have it registered on my head, and every time I remember it, I will just burst into laughter because it made him realize that now he is actually taking care. He notices the plants around him. He notices that they exist. And I think that really made a difference. The moment that he gives notice and attention to my plants, the plants actually know that, okay, apart from Raleigh, there's another human being living with her. And then that was just a realization. So it was really a fun thing, and I don't know, an unforgettable moment for me as a wife. And so if you are a plant parent wife or a plant parent spouse who is married to a not so interested plant parent, non-plant parent spouse, don't give up. Just keep on what you are doing, and eventually they will just give in. So yeah, buy more plants. You know, it doesn't have to be indoor plants, it doesn't have to be expensive plants. There are a lot of plants around you. We have been surrounded by florals and faunas, and just pick up one stem and try to propagate it with water, and you know, have them in your desk, have them in your table, and like, you know, try to talk to them, take care of them like how you would take care of a child, like how you would take care of a pet, and see how it goes. If it dies, try again. If it doesn't and it starts to root, that's one thing to be celebrated for. So before I end this live, thank you so much for spending time with me, and I hope that you find this vlog interesting, informative, and funny at the same time. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and turn on that notification button so the next time I'm gonna upload my YouTube vlog, then you will be able to see it right away. So the last thing that I wanted to share with you is kindness, or kindness and love. If speaking kindly to plants help them grow, imagine what speaking kindly to humans can do. So this is your Amiga Rai saying thank you so much, and auf Wiedersehen! Tschüss!